Someone recently asked me, how do I know when I'm ready to start or buy a business? So I asked her a few questions, and I realized what she was really asking was, when is this going to feel less scary? She wanted confidence, she wanted clarity, she wanted a sense of certainty before she took the first step. And so I shared a story with her. So about 10 years ago, I signed up for this 12-hour Navy SEAL training event. It was called SEAL Fit. And for some people, that may sound exciting. You may look at me and think I'm the kind of guy who likes to do that sort of stuff for fun on the weekends, but I am not. I don't sign up for Tough Mudders because I think it sounds like an amazing weekend. I actually hate cardio. I love sports, but I have always struggled with endurance events, never run a marathon. And at that point in time, I'd never done anything remotely as physically taxing as Navy SEAL training. Now, the idea of SEAL Fit made me uncomfortable, which is exactly why I felt pulled to do it. In fact, at the time, I had just read this book about deliberately doing things that put me outside of my comfort zone. And this checked the box. And I tried to ignore it for weeks, but I just kept coming back to it. So I signed up for this thing. But was I ready? Not even close. I trained for this thing for months, sort of off and on. I didn't do a great job with training for the cardio because I hated it. And I remember the night before this event, I'm in San Diego. I'm sitting at this taco bar with four other guys. So I had convinced four other guys to sign up for this event and do it with me, four other entrepreneurs. And one of them on his phone pulls up this journalist article describing their SEAL Fit experience in vivid detail. And I remember him reading this and like panic setting inside of me. My pits were starting to sweat. It was not just the physical detail of what they were describing that sounded so hard, but like crawling through these tubes and the idea of claustrophobia. The more he read, the more I thought, what the hell did I sign up for? I literally never felt less ready for anything in my life. But of course, I was there in San Diego, and the next morning it started. And SEAL Fit was exactly what they told you it was. It was nonstop physical and mental stress, few breaks, no comfort. I remember at one point we're alternating between doing push-ups and doing these squats. And as we're dropping to do these push-ups on this ground, it is filled with goat heads. And I remember thinking to myself, this could not be more miserable than I'm feeling right now. And of course, the entire time this is going on with all this physical activity, there are a bunch of ex-SEALs just yelling at you. I remember one got particularly up in my face because my squat form was not particularly good. He started making fun of how old I was. So I'm going through this all morning, and about 4 hours in, we're doing these hill repeats. And so what a hill repeat is you put someone on your back that was about the equivalent weight of you, and you had to sort of walk quickly up this hill and then back down. And then you would switch places and you just do this lap after lap after lap. And I remember we were probably a couple of laps in, and I had my friend Paul on my back, and he was breathing hard in my ear because he had just carried me up and down this hill. And I remember looking back at him and saying, Paul, I need you to breathe, man, because in a minute we are going to switch positions and I'm going to need you to get me up this hill. And that was the moment it really hit me at this SEAL event. It wasn't the night before. It wasn't during the months of training or working up to the event. It was right there in the middle of actually doing the hard thing. I didn't suddenly feel physically prepared, but I realized at that point, I was mentally ready. And that ended up being enough to get me through the rest of the day. And I took away from that experience something that I think applies directly to business ownership. I don't think you feel ready before you start. I think you feel ready when you're doing the work. Readiness isn't something you wait for. It's something you build through these small moments of just figuring things out. And business ownership is full of those moments. It is this long sequence of problems you never solved before, and you build your confidence by solving one problem and then another and then another. I think most people get stuck because they're trying to answer this question, should I start or buy a business? But they're asking it before they've done any of the work that makes that question answerable. But if you shift from this should question to the how questions, suddenly the answers start to appear. How would I find the right business? How would I finance it? How could I protect from the downside? How would I even find the time to carve out to explore this responsibly? Those kind of questions, those how questions, can spark your curiosity. It can get you focused on what it's actually going to take to earn the life you want, instead of spinning out worrying about losing the one that you have. Now, if you're struggling to make this idea actionable, let me give you a simple way to start. Pick one how question this week, just one. It doesn't matter what it is. How would I find a business that could even replace the income that I'm making? Just pick one, and only one. Give yourself an hour, just 1 hour of focused time to explore it. Don't put any pressure on yourself. Don't have these expectations of perfection. Just find the question you're most curious about and put an hour of work into it. And at the end of the hour, write down, what did I learn and what's my next how question? Repeat that a few times, and I'm betting you'll start to see something shift. It's not going to shift because the path suddenly gets easier, but it can shift because maybe you start to see how the path becomes possible. Now, being a business owner is about solving new problems with limited information. And the confidence in doing that comes from showing yourself repeatedly that you can do it. You can attack a new problem that you don't know how to solve, and you can figure it out. And then when the next one comes up, you can do it again. And the more you do that, the more ready you're going to feel, because that is the macro skill of business ownership. So my 2 cents, stop waiting to feel ready. Start doing the actual work that creates readiness. And then you won't have to ask some stranger if you're ready, because you're going to already know. Now, if you got value from this, please like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And if you have a question you want me to answer in a future video, please send me an email, jeremy@jeremyames.com. I wish you the best of luck as you chase your dreams. Cheers.